I'm really excited to be here, share a little part of my journey with you. I am a continent rule breaker, so I always like to do exactly what I'm told not to do. It just falls that way for me. So I'm going to speed through this for you and just give you a little piece of the journey for me. So I believe that we have all come here. I'm always asking the big questions. And the question that's been rattling through my mind my whole life is, why are we here? What is the real purpose? What is the purpose of my life? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know if any of you have asked yourself those questions, but I have many times. And what I've come to is that I believe we're here to pen our story, to add our verse to the song of the universe. And I believe that each one of us is born with a legend waiting to be birthed out of us. So this is a little journey of how I found my way on the path to singing my song. So years ago, a stranger approached me and he asked me the question, what are you doing with your life? He was very serious, and at the time I was super playful. I was running around, and I've been working a very serious job, traveling the world with an iconic superstar, and I'd left the tour halfway through and just taken off. I wasn't feeling satisfied or happy, and even though I had a dream job and everyone else would have been, loving to jump in my shoes, I didn't feel fulfilled. And so I left the tour and I was off gallivanting around, and this stranger came up to me and said, what are you doing with your life? And I said, well, and I named off pretty much everything in the universe that a person could do. And I said, and I'm moving to Los Angeles. And he said, if you land in Los Angeles and you try to tell people all those things, they're going to laugh in your face. You need a point on your arrow. So you find that point on your arrow, and people will come around and they will support you. They will help you. They will join your cause, and your dreams will be fulfilled. He took off, and I was left standing there sort of dumbfounded. But within an hour, it all came to me. Like a download straight from the heavens, I heard and saw everything that was to become lightning in a bottle. From that point forward, with my clear vision and my excitement about what I knew I wanted to do in the world, it was like everything started to be attracted to me. The people that I needed to meet, the ideas that I needed to have, and the tools that I needed to make it happen fell into place. I'm not saying that it was easy. It wasn't always easy, but things started to come in. What I knew I wanted to do was to bring people together in a new way. I always felt slightly unfulfilled. I would go out places and I always felt a little bit like I don't quite fit in, or I'm not having the connections that I want. I wanted to connect deeper with people. I love to rage. I like to dance, I like to party, and I like to be the last person to leave any event that I'm at, pretty much. So when the sun comes up, I'm going to be the girl that's still there, and then I'm probably the first person in yoga class. So that's just the way I like to roll, and I wanted to create an event that was, the perfect world for me, basically, with the idea that if I could bring people together just for a few days to experience something in a certain way, that they would go home and they could no longer say that it wasn't possible. Because people kept telling me, it's impossible. The world that you see, the dreams that you have are impossible. They can't exist. But I felt that they could. I knew that they could. So I thought, well, if no one else believes that it's true and no one else believes that it can happen, I'll just build it myself. And then they can come and see that it is possible. So I found the people, I got the point on my arrow, and sure enough, LIB opened its doors in 2004 to 800 people. This year, in May of 2016, we had more than 30,000 people to a sold-out event, and we celebrated, danced, and did yoga together. It was, for me, miraculous to see it all play out how I imagined it might. It wasn't always easy, of course. There were many times when I felt like this polar bear wandering in a desolate oasis. alone and with no one around me really understanding what I was talking about. I feel like sometimes I speak a foreign language even though I'm speaking English to people who speak English. I don't know if any of you ever have that experience, but it happens for me often because I'm laying down some crazy fanciful idea and the person's staring at me going, and I'm going, no, we can make it happen, we can. And we just keep driving the ship forward. For me, persistence has been the greatest tool that I've had, to keep persisting. When people tell me it's impossible, or when people look at me and give me strange looks like I have a horn, or like I'm this polar bear in the middle of the desert. Oh, he's not in a desert, but it sort of looks like one. I keep persisting, and that's been my superpower, my tool that I have in my tool belt. The other thing that has kept me going is the understanding that we are electromagnetic beings living in an electromagnetic universe. And what this polar bear knows that we don't know is that this is the northern lights, and it is the reflection of the electromagnetic field that we live in. It's the only way that we actually get to see it, is it in the North Pole or from up north where I come from in Canada, where we can see the northern lights. Let me show you. This is what it looks like from where I grew up at nighttime. So growing up seeing the northern lights, I was always filled with wonder, and I always wondered, like, where are they coming from and what is it? I learned along the way about the magneto-sphere, and I started to understand that with the power of my thinking and my thought, and as I project out into the world the things that I want, I attract those things to me. And that's what's happened throughout my lifetime, using just super positive, powerful, like, I'm gonna do this, and keep plugging ahead and keep moving forward. I'm gonna hit this thing again. Where are we? There we go. That's the magneto-sphere from NASA. Because I'm so excited about the magnetic human, it opened the door for me to create Lucent Dossier Experience. Lucent Dossier is an avant-garde, out-of-the-box performance troupe that from the get-go might have looked like something that wouldn't really have legs ever. When people asked me to describe Lucent, I never really could. The only thing that I had in mind when I started it was how could I find the most magnetic people, and also the people who were slightly broken, people who were sort of raw and had their souls half ripped out, because it's that kind of brokenness that attracts me, that I love. I just love to see people who are exposed and raw and aren't trying to be so perfect, because life isn't perfect, let's face it. So I love to see that, and I believe that blessed are the cracked, for they let us in the light. We played Coachella this year at the Sahara tent, and that's a picture of the Sahara tent. We closed Friday night, the Sahara tent. We're also performing here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock right on this stage. So along the way, one of the things that's helped me is the 3-minute rule. The 3-minute rule is that when something happens to you that's negative, you have 3 minutes to get over it. The reason I give myself 3 minutes is because I discovered along the way that any time after that was just me telling me the story over and over again of the thing that happened to me, reminding myself over and over again of the terrible thing that somebody said, or something that happened to me, just saying it over and again. I can't believe he gave me that ticket. I can't believe it. I was in the car. I was about to drive away. I can't believe he did that. I tell the story over and over and over again. And it's crazy. You can just move on, and then it's almost as if it didn't happen. It's amazing how quickly you can get over things if you apply the 3-minute rule. I also keep my body temple clean. I fill myself with pure, clean foods, high vibrational foods. I find it a key to my success in life because I need the energy, I need to stay up, I need to stay positive, so I keep everything as clean as I can. And I like to stay around people who are shining their light. I'm excited to be around people who do things better than I do them, so I can learn from them. I think it's a great skill to have. Find people who are doing things that are better than you and stick yourself to them. It's osmosis. You can't help but get infected by their awesomeness. Thank you very much. Please go out and shine your light, birth your legend. It was an honor to be here, and I hope to see you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock for Lucent Dossier Experience. Thank you.